foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, fishing families hold a big rally in Stonington, fearing new regulations could end their way of life.
Plus, the latest on a deadly stampede of people in South Korea, with 2 Americans among the many that were killed.
And a special event is held in Ellsworth to celebrate improvements to a local treasure there. We'll tell you all about that as well.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Halloween, too.
Yeah, happy Halloween. The forecast is looking pretty good if you're going out trick-or-treating.
Yeah, maybe a few clouds, but it won't be cold like some past years. So kids, everybody should really be able to enjoy it tonight.
No raincoats to ruin your costume.
Yeah.
Devin Biggs has all the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Monday and happy Halloween. And your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, as we get things rolling out there this morning, we got some clouds that are passing through in a few areas, though. As we're watching our next system that's starting to approach from the south and west, we've been watching this to see if it would bring a little bit of rain our direction. It might, but it won't be anything very meaningful at all. The system is further off towards the south and west at this point. It's still causing some showers to develop this morning. The lightning tracker across the country is on, and as you can see, no lightning with this thing at all. But as it tracks off towards the east, most of this will go to the south, but a few raindrops, sprinkles more than likely is what we could possibly see as we head towards later on tonight, well past trick-or-treating, I will stress, in the parts of the daytime period tomorrow. So moving forward, though, won't be too bad out there for today, though. A lot of mixture of clouds and sun, some fog on the way later on tonight as we head towards early tomorrow morning with a few sprinkles that cannot be ruled out either. Again, trick-or-treating will be fine for those going out tonight. The winds won't be too bad either out of the southwest from time to time at around 5, maybe up to 10 miles per hour. And those winds will maintain as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. For today, lower 60s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the daytime period for today to the afternoon looking pretty good. Mixture of clouds and sun, temperatures in the 60s. Your full Halloween forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma?
Well, thank you, Devin. Firefighters have been on the scene of a fire in Levant this morning. They were called to McCarty Road in Levant around 4 o'clock this morning. Several departments responded to the scene. It appeared they had the situation handled quickly, but that road was blocked off while they worked on the fire scene. Drivers may want to avoid that area until the scene is cleared.
Authorities continue to investigate a deadly crash in Reed Field. They say it was around 3:30 Sunday afternoon when they were called to the area of Scribner Hill Road and Gordon Road. They discovered that a woman had gone off the road and driven into a tree. 43-year-old Martha Shellman was killed in the crash. According to the Department of Public Safety, she had been driving on the Gordon Road when she crossed the center line, went off the road, and struck the tree head-on. They believe she had also been involved in a crash in Belgrade moments before the deadly crash. Authorities believe speed and alcohol were factors in the crash.
From Florida, who had been spotted here in Maine, has been found safe in Canada. 6-year-old Jorge Jojo Morales left his home in Miami 2 months ago for a visit with his father, but he wasn't returned. Authorities had been looking for him ever since that time and say he was recently spotted at a Walgreens in Holton with his father and paternal grandmother. The Royal Canadian Police say the search came to a happy ending Sunday when Jojo was located in Moncton, New Brunswick. He and his father were spotted at a local Walmart. 45-year-old Jorge Morales and his mother, 68-year-old Lillian Morales, were both taken into custody.
Lobstermen and other stakeholders gathered in Stonington Sunday to rally against regulation they say could cripple the lobster industry in just a couple years. Our Beth Jones was there to hear their message.
So we should be out fishing.
And this just means so much.
A calm and beautiful fall day like this would have been ideal to head out and haul traps. But Richard Larrabee Jr. is one of many Maine fishermen who instead gathered on the Stonington Fish Pier Sunday afternoon for a rally. He said he would have preferred to be out on the water, but felt compelled to stand up in solidarity with his fellow fishermen.
If you're not here fighting for this, there might not be another day.
Like many of his peers, he's worried the 90% reduction ordered by the National Marine Fisheries Service will destroy not just his livelihood, but also his ability to pass on Maine's fishing heritage.
90% reduction decimates this whole town. There's no boats, there's no reason to go fishing. our children's futures. If my son wants to go fishing, he doesn't have that option.
Others talk about the anxiety of it all, living day to day doing what they love, but always wondering if and when it will be taken away.
In back of your mind each and every day, you're just wondering when that rulemaking is going to come down, who's fighting for us, who's fighting against us, and how much leverage do those that are fighting against us have?
Folks here stress the importance of Maine lobster men and women staying unified in their fight against the proposed cuts to the industry, and they also said it's important that they now take this fight beyond the state of Maine.
I think that there's just so many ways that social media, sending emails and making phone calls, will have a huge effect, because we have the power as fishermen to educate those people, and we need to do that.
In the meantime, those gathered here say they will never give up a heritage built over the past 150 years, and they vowed to keep fighting.
You are all fishermen here today. As fishermen, we were not built to break, and we will not quit.
In Stonington, Beth Jones, ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Boy, I was down there for that rally yesterday, too. It was really kind of an emotional thing. People are, understandably concerned about what's going to happen. Coming up tomorrow, we'll also have a special interview with the former commissioner of the Department of Marine Resources, who helped craft some of the rules that they're going by right now. She's among those who are concerned about the new regulations, don't think that they're necessary. Very important interview coming up tomorrow.
Yep, well, things are advancing and things are changing, so hopefully good news out of that. Well, the time is now 6:06. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a local community center in Ellsworth hosted a concert fundraiser over the weekend.
But before we go, let's take another look at that forecast. Not a bad one for Halloween. Today we can expect partly cloudy skies with a high around 61 degrees. Tonight it will be mostly cloudy with lows around 45. Pretty comfortable out there. And then tomorrow, a mostly cloudy day with highs around 62.
I've got plans. We've all got them. But Bruce Poliquin's plans would put Social Security benefits at risk. He planned to raise the retirement age and cap retirees' cost of living increases. He even opposed allowing Medicare to negotiate cheaper drug prices. But Jared Golden didn't just plan. He passed legislation to cap seniors' drug costs and let Medicare negotiate drug prices. Jared Golden is the man with the right plan.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time, or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard-to-buy-for relative. So come visit us today. Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
You know, I love me some good GMA in the morning. Robin, George, Michael, and GMA. Now that's how you start your day.
Good morning, America.
Yep, bring your friends.
With so much at stake this election night, turn to ABC 7 and Fox 22 for team coverage of Maine Decides 2022.
We'll be live throughout the state with the latest election results as they come in, on air and online.
You can count on ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Welcome back, everyone. Consumers, healthcare providers, and community members came together to discuss expanding quality mental health services to Mainers. On Friday, the Maine Department of Health and Human Services held a public session to discuss a new comprehensive statewide strategic plan to strengthen behavioral health services. The online session gave stakeholders a platform to discuss current challenges and offer ideas. The Director of Strategic Initiatives for Maine Care, Michelle Probert, says there are hopes to add more mental health IPO services by the end of this year. A few attendees talked about how mental health concerns are often related to a lack of affordable housing.
I've literally been homeless 6 times in the last 3 years with no case management. And it has been incredibly difficult.
Because there's no staff, because of the low reimbursement rates. The burnout is so high. The turnover on staffing is so high.
Next online session will be held on November 4th.
A local community center and museum hosted a benefit concert for their newest edition. Devin Dagnall has more.
Sunday, the Woodlawn Museum held a fundraiser concert for their new community barn that is currently under construction. Janet Pearson, a local pianist, accompanied by Nathan Lesser, a violinist who has played with Pearson since his childhood, performed a selection of pieces by George Gershwin.
When I decided I wanted to do a concert for the Woodlawn, I thought, well, I'll go through Bach and Beethoven and Mozart and see what I haven't done and try something. And everything I looked at, I thought, been there, done that, so why not try something new?
According to the event organizer, Kathy Young, the barn will look very similar to the original George Nixon Black Barn on the outside, but will be outfitted to host artistic and educational events inside. Lesser says the barn will be an excellent addition to the city, and the concert was a way to get people excited and involved.
Of course, to bring awareness and support to great local causes and places, and then also for us to share what we have to offer and highlight amazing people like Janet.
Tickets were sold at $25 apiece. According to Young, the concert raised over $1,000 with a full house.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a beautiful day. So many of the people that are here are personal friends and supporters of Janet, and because they probably met Janet through being at Woodlawn, it's a very close family, and it's terrific.
For more information about Woodlawn or to donate, visit woodlawnmuseum.org. In Ellsworth, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
And an exciting time for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
Well, the time now is 6:12. Coming up after the break, we'll check out the fundraiser for the Belfast Skate Park that occurred over the weekend.
We'll be right back.
In Maine, our independence, hard work, and freedoms mean everything, but not to Paul LePage. He's repeatedly attacked women's reproductive freedom. LePage supported letting states ban abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, defunded family planning programs, and told extremists we shouldn't have abortion. He's a risk to our health and freedom, and it's why we can't go back to Paul LePage. The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
This Veterans Day, join Fox ABC Maine as we salute and honor our veterans. Are you an active, inactive, or retired member of the armed services? Do you know someone who is? Then upload your photos on foxbangor.com/Maine Heroes. We will randomly select as many veterans as possible to win a gift card. Locally sponsored by McLaughlin Seafood, Mountain Sports Shop, Tossie's Checkout and Convenience Store, and Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. The skaters invited the Belfast community to the Eric Overlock Park to show off some skate tricks while bringing awareness to their ongoing issues.
Overlock Park was built back in 2000, and after 20-plus years, the Belfast skate community is working to raise funds for a renewal project. Saturday, organizers hosted a public fundraiser and skateboarding contest to bring more awareness to the growing number of updates needed for the park.
It's important because I love skateboarding and I want to have a place to skate in my town. We've been talking about it for 10 years. The pandemic set it back a couple years. It's time to get this back on track.
Organizers say the skateboard ramps made of plywood are falling apart, and the damage from the harsh winters isn't helping.
So we try to maintain the park the best of our ability. The park is 23 years old, so it is moving on in the sense of its condition.
Norm Portier says a new skate park could cost between $175,000 to $200,000. Portier explains that once roughly $145,000 is raised, the Parks and Recreation Department will submit design plans to the Belfast City Council.
The city has also said that they would help with the fundraising. in the sense that once we reach close to our goal, that they would then contribute $30,000 towards the project.
We spoke to skaters who say they're optimistic about the changes for the better for a ever-growing skate community.
I think it's long overdue. I think, it's dangerous to skate, for one, and, it sort of invites people to sort of disrespect it because it's kind of dilapidated. So if it was fresh concrete and people were taking care of it, I think it would be really inspiring for the whole community.
In Belfast, AJ Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Can you skateboard at all?
I tried to once and I
Did
broke my ankle.
Yeah, well, probably should stay off the skateboard. Huh?
Yeah, I have a compromised ankle though. So
I did a little when I was a kid, but I'm afraid I'd break my ankle if I tried it these days too.
It's the type of thing that you've got to grow up doing.
Yeah.
It's a balance thing.
I could do a few tricks, but nothing like those guys out there.
I know.
They're good.
I know. He came into the show a couple weeks ago to promo it, and it's fun.
They know what
it's
they're
a good
doing.
thing in the community.
Yeah.
Keeps them outside and having fun.
Good for them.
Yep. Well, the time is now 6:16.
Time to get a full look at our forecast. Not a bad one. A little cloudy out there to start off the week, but overall not terrible.
No compromise. Compromise trick-or-treating.
Here's Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full Halloween weather forecast is brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home and Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, here we are. We just have some clouds that are passing through this morning. There's another system not too far away, off to our south and west. Most of this is going to track off towards the east. So clouds, maybe a few raindrops, a little bit of fog is all we're really going to see as we head towards today, tonight, and the parts of tomorrow. The fog and raindrops late tonight and tomorrow. Trick-or-treating will be good to go later on tonight for those heading out. Well, otherwise, this is courtesy of high pressure tracking away from us now. Here's our next system tracking off towards the east, and most of this we're going to stick to our south. So again, not a lot of meaningful precipitation on the way anytime soon. Although the state is fine, we could use a little bit of precipitation to keep us out of drought. Otherwise, though, here we are, 3 to 4 foot wave heights being noted. According to some of the buoys out there, we're just a little bit lower along the coastline. No advisories in effect at this point, so we're looking pretty good in that retrospect. But moving forward, though, we've had some very nice temperatures, even running at or well above average in the 60s and even a few 50s out there. We're going to keep that rolling. Our average high is 52 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 60s over the next few days. Cool off a little bit to still above average in the upper 50s for your Thursday, then back in the 60s again, maybe close to 70 degrees maybe as we head towards Saturday, so some warmer temperatures on the way by that point, then back in the middle 60s as we head towards your Sunday. Futurecast moving forward, though, a few clouds for today and some sunshine mixed by tonight. We have a little bit more cloud cover moving in. Trick-or-treating will be good to go for tonight. Late tonight, though, some fog will develop along with a few more passing clouds. And a few sprinkles cannot be ruled out either as we head towards your Tuesday, especially early Tuesday morning as well. Futurecast tries to get some raindrops going Tuesday night. I don't buy that right now. I think Tuesday night will be dry with a partly cloudy sky overall. Of course, any raindrops will definitely help out in some areas, though. We're good to go in our neck of the woods. The drought monitor is looking pretty good. But in some other areas, though, across a good part of the country, many areas could use a lot of rainfall. Many areas, more areas of the U.S. than not, and some kind of drought. So, of course, a lot of rain needed across a good part of the country, or I guess any kind of precipitation for that matter. So your forecast for today, lower 60s, partly cloudy, south wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. Those going trick-or-treating for it tonight. The mummies enjoying things tonight as well. And they'll be very nice, so temperatures falling to the 50s overall. So looking very nice for those going trick-or-treating tonight. Ultimately, we'll get down to an overnight low in the middle 40s for the mostly cloudy sky with some sprinkles and a little bit of fog as well as the winds go calm. Moving ahead towards tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly cloudy with a few sprinkles as well. Southwest wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecasters have a small chance of rain for you Tuesday. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Lower 60s again on Friday with a partly cloudy sky.
All right, thank you, Devin. Look at that. A lot of sunshine coming up this week.
It's going to be a beautiful beginning of November. Well, still much more to come as Good Morning Maine continues.
We're no football players.
But we do know a lot about Medicare.
So why call some out-of-state 800 number?
When help is right here at home.
Listen to what these people have to say.
My insurance kept going up and up and up and up.
I could never have navigated through the loopholes.
Gave me all my options and signed me up with what I needed within an hour.
Senior Planning Center was a lifesaver for us.
Oh, by the way,
We represent most Medicare health plans.
I'm Jared Golden. Seeing some Washington politicians try and enrich themselves makes you think of this. That's why I'm working to clean up Congress by banning members from using insider information to trade individual stocks, and why I'm leading the way to stop taxpayer-funded pay raises for Congress. And I'm not taking any PAC money from big corporations that already have too much influence in Washington. I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message to clean up Congress.
It's the interview everyone is talking about.
Secrets kill people like me.
And now this morning, Matthew Perry comes to Good Morning America Live. What does he now have to say? Matthew Perry, live, this morning on ABC's Good Morning America.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, chances are you have lots of questions. Norm Prouty has answers. Learn some tips and tricks and explore some beautiful homes on the market. The Norm Prouty and Donnell Baker Real Estate Show, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on ABC 7.
Joe Baldacci was born, raised, and educated right here in Bangor. He's promoted and supported hundreds of millions of dollars in commercial and economic development projects. He has fought to protect vital services from drastic budget cuts. In his first term in the state Senate, Joe delivered for his constituents in Bangor and Herman on jobs, school funding, expansion of health care, and protecting the environment. Joe Baldacci, delivering results for the people of Bangor and Herman.
Happy Halloween from ABC 7.
Now to that Halloween tragedy. More than 150 people losing their lives and at least 37 others left in critical condition. Many of them got crushed inside a massive crowd leaving a holiday celebration in South Korea. And now we're learning about the 2 young Americans who are among the victims. We're also learning why more police were not standing by for crowd control. ABC's Elizabeth Schultz has the details.
2 Americans are among the dead in South Korea from what's being called the deadliest crowd crush in decades. The family of Annie Gieske, a nursing student at the University of Kentucky, says she died in the chaos. And Stephen Blessey, a 20-year-old from Georgia, was studying international business abroad. His father tells the New York Times when the U.S. Embassy called to say his son had died, it was like it stabbed like 100 million times simultaneously. The tragedy unfolding at a Halloween celebration Saturday night in Seoul. Officials estimate more than 100,000 people packed the streets for the city's first post-COVID restrictions Halloween party, when a massive sea of people jammed into a narrow alley.
The revelers were coming by the thousands from each side, down below here, and from both sides up above. And this alley is just 14 feet wide. There was nowhere for anyone to go.
As the crowd surged forward, witnesses describe a hell-like chaos. People in costumes crushed, suffocating, and falling like dominoes as party music blared in the background.
And then the emergency services arrived, and they were just pulling bodies out and just dumping them on the street.
Rows of rescuers performed CPR on victims. American Janelle's story was able to escape the crowd.
I just saw in front of me this mass of people running and pushing and screaming and like panicking.
Authorities say 200 officers were on hand for the event, about 1 officer for every 500 people in attendance. South Korea's interior minister acknowledges officials did not anticipate such a large crowd and said a considerable amount of police officers had been sent elsewhere to another part of the city where unrelated protests were planned.
And nearly 100 people have died in one of the most destructive storms to lash the Philippines this year. Officials said on Monday dozens more are feared missing after villagers fled in the wrong direction and got buried in a boulder-laden mudslide. Almost 2 million others were swamped by floods in several provinces. The area was swamped by unusually heavy rains set off by tropical storm Nalgae. The storm blew out into the South China Sea on Sunday, leaving a trail of destruction.
It's just awful. Meanwhile, get ready to pay even more interest if you need to borrow some money. On Wednesday, the Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates by another 0.75%. If it happens, this would be the Fed's 4th straight large rate hike. intended to bring down inflation, the housing market is already beginning to slump as mortgage interest rates have skyrocketed. And some analysts are concerned the Fed will increase interest rates by another 0.75% in December. They fear the Fed could send the economy into a recession with hefty rate increases. Certainly not a great time to buy if you're looking for a house.
I know.
You know.
I know all sorts of things too.
Yeah, it's hard to buy anything these days, though. Everything's so expensive.
I know everybody needs a loan for something, so.
Got some money I can borrow? Yeah.
It's time for a personal loan.
Right.
Call up all your friends. Still to cover on the second half of our show, we'll get an insider look into the halls of Congress to hear about its legendary ghost stories.
Plus, we'll have your latest Hollywood Halloween news. That and more as Good Morning Maine continues.
From start to finish, Ware Butler Building Supply will get you there. Ware Butler started in Maine as a lumber operation in the 1920s. Like most Mainers, Ware Butler adapted to the times and became a building supply company. Through good old Maine resolve and calloused hands, Ware Butler has grown with locations throughout Maine, including Lewiston, Auburn. If you're a contractor, if you're a do-it-yourselfer, let the folks at Ware Butler show you the benefits of small-town service. Ware Butler Building Supply, Maine, from start to finish.
I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. Winning car accident cases is what we do. Check out a few of our big wins.
I broke my wrist and they got me $185,000. What did the twos do for you?
I injured my hip and they got me $260,000. What did the twos do for you?
I needed multiple surgeries and Lowry & Associates got me $350,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
I'm 82 years old and I have collapsed arches, which means the first thing that hits the ground is the bone in my arch. I came to Comfort Shoes 4 years ago because I couldn't walk without pain. And she spent so much time on my feet getting the right shoe, and we finally found the right pair. Once you made these orthotics for me, I have no pain. These are so comfortable. I have no discomfort. I feel like I could go running, and I thank you and Comfort Shoes for that.
Jared Golden says one thing in Maine, another thing in Washington.
Thanks to Biden and his golden boy Jared, everything is more expensive.
Heating oil is through the roof, and winter's coming.
Jared Golden's policies are going to make people decide whether to heat or to eat.
What's Jared Golden done about it?
He voted to raise taxes on every Mainer.
Jared Golden, independent when it's convenient and liberal when it matters. Sounds like a typical politician to me.
Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, today is Monday, October 31st, 2022, Halloween. There are 61 days left in the year. On this day in history, in 1864, Nevada became the 36th state as President Abraham Lincoln signed a proclamation. In 1941, work was completed on the Mount Rushmore National Memorial in South Dakota. The construction actually began many years before, in 1927.
And in 1992, Pope John Paul II formally proclaimed that the Roman Catholic Church had made a mistake when it condemned the astronomer Galileo for holding that the Earth was not at the center of the universe.
A show of the changing times.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I didn't know that, 1992.
Yeah.
A lot of changes that year. Social changes, I'd say, more so.
A time of enlightenment, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Today's birthdays include former CBS anchor Dan Rather is 91. Did I say that right?
You did, Dan Rather.
I don't know.
I met him once. I'll tell you about that sometime.
Cool.
Got to interview him, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Dan Rather was huge back then.
Yeah.
Kind of ended in controversy, but
yeah.
That's another story.
That's another story,
yeah.
Okay. TV host Jane Pauley is 72. Rap performer Vanilla Ice, a.k.a. Rob Van Winkle, is 55.
Ice, ice, baby.
Oh, that's why you said that earlier. You didn't give me a reason for just saying that.
Sometimes I just blurt things out in the newsroom, and
I'm like, okay.
Yes. So I didn't know his name was Rob Van Winkle.
I didn't either. I think that's been referenced in other songs because it's kind of like Marilyn Monroe's name was Norma Jean.
Right.
So people will reference that as like the transformatory word.
Yeah.
Cool.
Vanilla Ice was big stuff back in his time.
It must be cool, too. I have a friend that has a Christmas birthday, so that's a little different. She celebrates her birthday in June, but it must be cool to have a Halloween birthday. Yeah.
Well, happy birthday to all of them.
Happy birthday to them. And hey, if you're going out trick-or-treating tonight or know anybody who is, it looks like it'll be an all right time for it. You won't have a raincoat to mess up your costume or anything.
Yeah, hopefully not.
So,
just
yeah.
kind of cloudy out there tonight. Maybe a
Right.
few passing sprinkles, but no big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't rain on that parade. Devin Biggs has all the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Monday and happy Halloween. And your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, as we get things rolling out there this morning, we got some clouds that are passing through in a few areas, though. As we're watching our next system that's starting to approach from the south and west, we've been watching this to see if it would bring a little bit of rain our direction. It might, but it won't be anything very meaningful at all. The system is farther off towards the south and west at this point. It's still causing some showers to develop this morning. The lightning tracker across the country is on, and as you can see, no lightning with this thing at all. But as it tracks off towards the east, most of this will go to the south, but a few raindrops, sprinkles more than likely is what we could possibly see as we head towards later on tonight, well past trick-or-treating, I will stress, in the parts of the daytime period tomorrow. So moving forward, though, won't be too bad out there for today, though. A lot of mixture of clouds and sun, some fog on the way later on tonight as we head towards early tomorrow morning with a few sprinkles that cannot be ruled out either. Again, trick-or-treating will be fine for those going out tonight. The winds won't be too bad either out of the southwest from time to time at around 5, maybe up to 10 miles per hour, and those winds will maintain as we head towards the daytime tomorrow. For today, lower 60s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 miles per hour. Hourly forecast for the rest of the daytime period for today to the afternoon looking pretty good. Mixture of clouds and sun, temperatures in the 60s. Your full Halloween forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you very much, Devin. Hollywood stars are getting into the spirit of the season this Halloween with scary movies, costumes, decorations, and more.
Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest.
It's so Monday, isn't it?
Yes.
Hollywood stars have favorite festivities for Halloween fun.
You came here to kill me, so do it.
For Halloween Ends icon Jamie Lee Curtis, it's about bringing scares on screen. And of course, she has a top costume of all time.
Hey, baby, bell bottoms and a blue shirt.
Jada Martell of Mr. Harrigan's Phone and It loves much about the holiday.
The candy, the dressing up, the parties.
His costume planning is TBD.
I'm always very last minute. But I always appreciate a good costume when other people go for it.
Mario Cantone is all about scary movies, co-hosting Creepy Cinema.
I am a huge horror movie, scary movie fan.
Oh my God.
Turner
Classic Movies?
Yes.
You don't even understand. I love Turner Classic Movies. It's on 24/7 in my house.
Cantone already showed off his costume.
The Masked Singer, Maze, was my Halloween costume.
Okay.
That's it. I don't like dressing up, but my husband decorates the house, so it looks great. And, you know, we watch scary movies, and I live in New York City in an apartment building, so I go downstairs with a bag of candy, and I give candy to the kids.
Rocky Horror Picture Show's Barry Bostwick is doing the time warp again with a 47th anniversary tour.
Brad Majors, my character, says in the beginning to Janet, "It's just a party, Janet," when she gets all nervous about it. And you know what? That's how I approach this evening. It's just a party.
The Haunting series star Kate Siegel starts Halloween early.
I have kids now, and so I can get into Halloween starting October 1st, and then we stick with it all of October. And then November is Thanksgiving, and December is Christmas, and January is depressing.
For producer Jason Blum, it's always time to celebrate.
Never too early to start celebrating Halloween. What do you say?
I say happy Halloween.
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
I love Halloween stuff.
Yeah, are you going to watch a scary movie or anything tonight?
Probably. Yeah, there's a few I've been wanting to watch on Netflix. So
there's too many options. That's the problem. And I have Prime, too, so it's just like, what am I going to do tonight?
Yeah, tough when you have to go to bed about 7:30 every night, too. So
That's the thing. It makes it less spooky, though, if you're afraid of the dark.
Right. All right, we'll have more Good Morning Maine when we come back.
Janet Mills is crushing Maine families. Under her watch, Mainers will face rolling blackouts this winter, putting our most vulnerable, like seniors, at risk. And because of Mills and Joe Biden's failed agenda, Mainers will pay 72% more for home heating oil and $60 more each month for groceries. Mainers can't afford more of the failed Mills agenda. Vote no on Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
If they have your personal information, anyone can be you. Spectrum One keeps your personal data safe and private. That's privacy protection. That's Spectrum One.
I grew up homeless starting at age 11. I understand what it's like to struggle. Right now, senior citizens, our families, are struggling with high grocery bills, home heating oil prices, and electric bills. I get it. Janet Mills hasn't made it better. She's making it worse. Policies pushing high electric bills, home heating costs, considering gas tax increases. They are just wrong. With your vote, we can fix it.
Hello, Eastern Maine. Watch You Bet Your Life weekdays at 10 a.m. here on ABC 7.
How's it going, everybody? Ryan Sudol here. We have action with big stakes across multiple sports to get to, so let's just jump in, starting with football. Class C North quarterfinals are underway. Let's see how one of those games went down on Saturday. 4th-seeded Nokomis hosting 5th-seeded Winslow, winner to the semis. Winslow had lost 4 in a row coming in, but they didn't look like it. First quarter, Black Raiders down 6-0. Quarterback Jared Newgard weaves his way through the Warrior line and gets in for 6. Extra point makes it 7-6 Winslow. Second quarter, Winslow running back Matt Quirion bullies his way across the plane. Extra point good. Raiders lead 14-6. Okay, half ticking down. Nokomis quarterback Grady Hartsgrove under pressure. And as the old adage goes, the heck with it, Madden White's down there somewhere. Oh, there he is. What a all-Madden grab by White. But a couple plays later, Hartsgrove would get picked off. Gavin Chambers jumps the route for Winslow. They would add on to their lead in the second half. Raiders win 27-12. Now to some 8-man small semifinal action. Number 1 seed Dexter against the 5 seed Orono. Orono trying to avenge their close loss to Dexter earlier this year, and they did a pretty good job. It's 31-16 in the third quarter, make it 37. Jack Brewer connects with Case Walston for the touchdown. 2-point conversion makes it 39-16. Still third quarter. Dexter trying to mount a comeback. Quarterback Bryce Connor underthrows it. It's picked off by Brady Mayhew. He waltzes to the end zone. Pick 6, 47-16 Red Riots. To the fourth we go. Orono's just showing off at this point. Brewer is going to find Caden Gray in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. It's 53-16 Orono. They go on to win it 61-22. The Red Riots have done it again. They move to the final as the 5 seed.
You know, it's about the process, but, you know, defense did what they had to do, and we pulled it off. We have so many skilled guys that can do so many different things, and, you know, to have everybody, anyone can go off on any given night, and we didn't really have one certain receiver. We had everybody doing their job, and we did what we had to do.
That regional final game for Orono will be held next week against Stearns Skank. Moving to cross country, where the state championships were held in Cumberland on Saturday, and here are the final standings from those meets. Class A girls, Bonnie Eagle in first, Marshwood second, Falmouth third, with Bangor finishing fifth. And Class A boys, Hamden Academy 1, Portland 2, Camden Hills 3. To Class B girls, York, Lincoln 1 and 2, MDI 3, and for Class B boys, Freeport, York, Greeley 1, 2, and 3. Class C girls, Orono first, Holton, Greater Holton Christian Academy 2, and Wayne Fleet in third. Class C boys, George Stevens 1, Winthrop 2, and Sumner in third. Okay, let's move on to girls soccer now. Plenty of semifinal matchups across all classes this weekend. Let's start with Class A North. We know that Brunswick will play in the regional final, but against who? Let's see. Number 2 seed Bangor hosting 3 seed Camden Hills first half. Windjammers already up 1-0. This is Brenna Mackey. She's going to take this thing all by herself from 40 yards out past 1, 2, 3. Bangor defenders for the goal. Mackey is back in town. 2-0 Windjammers. Still first half. Camden looking to add on. A chance for Sydney Stone, but Emma McNeil, a great leaping save to keep the lead at 2. To the second, McNeil, a goal kick. It gets intercepted by Stone, and she said, you know what? I'm that good, so I'm going to show them I'm that good. A perfectly placed goal, top shelf. It's 3-0 Jammers. They win 3-1, and they move to the final. The semifinal action doesn't stop there. Coyotes and Wildcats going at it in Class B. Trip to the Northern Main's on the line. Second half, tied up. Wildcats looking for the run. But Danica Brown just there in the nick of time. Still 1-1 Coyotes. On offense now. Sage Evans on the throw. She finds Rhiannon Busquets. She spins, fires, and finds the net. Old Town up 2-1. And that is all the cushion Brown would need. She was lights out in the second half. She's going to make another great save here. And Old Town, for the first time in program history, is headed to the Class B North Championship game next Wednesday. Busquets has the game winner, and Brown pitches the second half shutout for the 2-1 victory.
Honestly, I didn't even know that it was going to go in because it megged her, but the ground's slippery, so anything can happen on the mud. I mean, as far as we know, we've made it history for our school, so that's all I'm happy about.
We just wanted it really bad. I mean, our soccer team has never made it this far before, so being the first team to actually, advance this far is really important to us. We worked really well together. We were in it for each other, and, Presque Isle is an amazing team. They really worked really hard, challenged us really hard.
And to the other B North semifinal game, Herman and Oceanside squaring off. Winner gets Old Town. First half, Mariners on the move. Shot by Ava Philbrook is online, but a nice save from Bella Bowden. Herman now. Allie Coxon with a good ball here, but an even better play from Jillian Barnard. Second half, we are still scoreless. Corner from Madison Stewart. It finds the head of Lindsay Reed, and that is in, and that, folks, is Reed's 100th career goal. Puts the Hawks up by 1. She wasn't done, though. Natalie Tardy off the corner. Reed again heads it in. 2-0 Hawks now. And now on the PK, guess who? Yup, Lindsay Reed. She fires it home for the hat trick. Herman wins 4-0. After the game, here's the senior Hawk on her career day.
The first one, it felt really good, and it was kind of like a relief for me because it was just, I'm there, I'm done, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. So it kind of took that pressure off, and it was also good because that was our first goal to get us up, so that was good for our team as well. I don't know, I was just really happy. It's hard to express what it felt like, and I didn't really think I'd get there, I guess, so it was just relieving, I guess.
That's all for sports. We're glad you've joined us. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be right back.
As a medical group commander in the United States Air Force and a surgeon, I never ask my patients about their politics. It's the same in Augusta. If someone has a good idea, it doesn't matter what party they're from. That's how I passed bipartisan bills to cut down on government paperwork to make it easier for the uninsured to access health care. Remove barriers to allow small businesses to provide health insurance, and help Mainers who might be at risk of an accidental drug overdose. I'm Dr. Richard Evans, and I ask for your vote.
The ABC Fox 22 Spooktacular Sweepstakes is upon us. Go online to foxbangor.com and enter our contest for a chance to win great prizes. Sponsored locally by the Natural Living Center and C&K Variety.
Join us every Friday this season as we celebrate the return to the gridiron with the most highlights, reaction, and analysis of your favorite teams. Catch Sports Blitz Friday at 11 on ABC7. Sports Blitz brought to you by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. And by Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A Holden, where you'll find furniture that's in stock and ready for delivery.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi commenting for the first time about Friday's assault on her husband, Paul. In a letter to House colleagues, she says the attack traumatized the family and has left them heartbroken. Mr. Pelosi is improving. He remains in the hospital. Police say the suspect broke into their San Francisco home and hit him in the head with a hammer. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman is in San Francisco with more.
Heightened fears over lawmakers' safety as new details emerge about the alleged suspect who attacked House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband. Law enforcement sources tell ABC News 42-year-old David DePape had zip ties and duct tape in his bags early Friday when he broke into the Pelosi home. Sources say DePape shouted, "Where's Nancy?" Another parallel to the January 6th Capitol attack.
Where are you, Nancy?
Authorities say Paul Pelosi called 911 when DePape broke in, leaving the line open.
RP stated that there's a male in the home and that he's going to wait for his wife. RP stated that he doesn't know who the male is.
Police arrived within 2 minutes. When they ordered DePape to drop his weapon, a hammer, that's when he allegedly struck Pelosi at least twice, fracturing his skull.
This was not a random act.
Authorities are now combing through the suspect's social media pages. Some allegedly show multiple false conspiracy theories about the 2020 election.
What happened to Paul Pelosi is despicable. It's unacceptable.
The attack highlighting the growing hostility toward members of Congress, with threats at an all-time high, more than doubling since 2017. In an increasingly toxic political climate, a joint FBI Homeland Security bulletin sent to police nationwide now warns of a heightened threat by lone wolves ahead of the midterm elections.
A politics where some in office or who aspire to office work to stir up division, to make folks as angry and as afraid of one another for their own advantage.
House Speaker Pelosi says her family is heartbroken and traumatized by the life-threatening attack. The San Francisco DA is expected to file charges against the alleged suspect today, with a court hearing expected tomorrow. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
All right, time to turn our attention back towards the weather. At least we have some better news when it comes to that.
Yeah, here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full Halloween weather forecast is brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home and Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Alrighty, here we are. We just have some clouds that are passing through this morning. There's another system not too far away, all to our south and west. Most of this is going to track off towards the east. So clouds, maybe a few raindrops, a little bit of fog is all we're really going to see as we head towards today, tonight, and the parts of tomorrow. The fog and raindrops late tonight and tomorrow. Trick-or-treating will be good to go later on tonight for those heading out. Otherwise, this is courtesy of high pressure tracking away from us now. Here's our next system tracking off towards the east, and most of this we're going to stick to our south. So again, not a lot of meaningful precipitation on the way anytime soon. Although the state is fine, we could use a little bit of precipitation to keep us out of drought. Otherwise, though, here we are, 3 to 4 foot wave heights being noted. According to some of the buoys out there, we're just a little bit lower along the coastline. No advisories in effect at this point, so we're looking pretty good in that retrospect. But moving forward, though, we've had some very nice temperatures, even running at or well above average in the 60s and even a few 50s out there. We're going to keep that rolling. Our average high is 52 degrees. We'll reach for the lower 60s over the next few days. Cool off a little bit to still above average in the upper 50s for you Thursday, then back in the 60s again, maybe close to 70 degrees maybe as we head towards Saturday, so some warmer temperatures on the way by that point, then back in the middle 60s as we head towards your Sunday. Futurecast moving forward, though, a few clouds for today and some sunshine mixed by tonight. We have a little bit more cloud cover moving in. Trick-or-treating will be good to go for tonight. Late tonight, though, some fog will develop along with a few more passing clouds. And a few sprinkles cannot be ruled out either as we head towards your Tuesday, especially early Tuesday morning as well. Futurecast tries to get some raindrops going Tuesday night. I don't buy that right now. I think Tuesday night will be dry with a partly cloudy sky overall. Of course, any raindrops will definitely help out in some areas, so we're good to go in our neck of the woods. The drought monitor is looking pretty good, but in some other areas, though, across a good part of the country, many areas could use a lot of rainfall. Many areas, more areas of the U.S. than not, and some kind of drought. So, of course, a lot of rain needed across a good part of the country, or I guess any kind of precipitation for that matter. So your forecast for today, lower 60s, partly cloudy, south wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. Those going trick-or-treating for it tonight. The mummies enjoying things tonight as well. And they'll be very nice, so temperatures falling to the 50s overall. So looking very nice for those going trick-or-treating tonight. Ultimately, we'll get down to an overnight low in the middle 40s for the mostly cloudy sky with some sprinkles and a little bit of fog as well as the winds go calm. Moving ahead towards tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly cloudy with a few sprinkles as well. Southwest wind getting up to around 5 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecasters has a small chance to rain for you Tuesday. Otherwise, a lot of sunshine Wednesday and Thursday, highs in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Lower 60s again on Friday with a partly cloudy sky.
Shark Tank Fridays on ABC.
Sponsored locally by Comfort Shoes and More, 19 Moosehead Trail, Newport. More than 40 years of helping people out of foot pain.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message.
Veterans need a congressman who's got their backs. Jared Golden does. Jared's a veteran himself and worked with Republicans and Democrats to get the VA to build an inpatient facility in Maine to treat mental health and substance use disorders. Bruce Poliquin didn't have my back. Poliquin helped create a commission that wants to close VA facilities across Maine, forcing veterans to travel even further for VA care. Veterans can't trust Bruce Poliquin.
I'm Jay Pearl from Carroll Harper & Associates, Maine's most experienced Medicare health plans agency. Every day we hear how complicated navigating the Medicare maze can be. Let us help. From enrolling in Medicare to finding the right Medicare health plan, we are your go-to agency. We represent Martins Point Generations Advantage and other Medicare health plans that meet our quality standards. There's no cost or obligation for our services, so call Carroll Harper & Associates today.
I served our country during the Gulf War. We were fighting for freedom in the Middle East. But in Washington, Bruce Poliquin would take away freedoms Mainers have earned. He voted for a nationwide abortion ban and said he supported changing the Constitution. Poliquin would allow politicians to stand between women and their doctors, even in cases of rape and incest. We didn't fight for our freedoms for politicians like Bruce Poliquin to take them away.
DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Why are you green?
It's Halloween. The horse is with me.
I would have thought that you had more Halloween spirit.
I express it after work.
Happy Halloween!
The Good Doctor, new tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, Washington, D.C. can be considered a scary place for a variety of reasons. Fox News senior congressional correspondent takes us inside Capitol Hill for a look at one of the most haunting places in the city.
We've all been to a haunted house, but how about a haunted house and Senate? As they say in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey. But for this journey, we'll go deep into the Capitol catacombs for tales of the congressional macabre. The U.S. Capitol is a seemingly haunted place. Mysterious sounds of a custodian who passed on. Some can still hear her scrubbing the floors late at night. Or you might hear Pennsylvania Senator Boyce Penrose in a rocking chair reading the bills late at night. The military converted the U.S. Capitol into a field hospital for Union soldiers during the Civil War. Some have reported sightings of those soldiers wandering the building even today.
Some of them have continued to stay here. A lot of soldiers died here, and they were very idealistic at that point, and their spirits would be here.
Joe Novotny just retired from the House after 30 years. You've seen him on C-SPAN as the House reading clerk. And Novotny's observed some weird things in the House chamber late at night after everybody else is gone.
And all of a sudden, in the well of the chamber, like directly in front of me, I see a man walk in front of me. And I look up immediately to see who it is, and there was nobody there. You tell yourself, is this real? But it was vivid.
But towering above all Capitol ghost stories is the legend of the demon cat, which prowls the Capitol. It appears before national emergencies, such as when the British burned the Capitol in 1814, the Civil War, Pearl Harbor, Kennedy's assassination. Its footprints are purportedly visible in the Capitol's Senate wing, but supposedly the demon cat also signed its name. In an obscure congressional stairwell, you'll find this. Now, does that stand for District of Columbia, Direct Current, Detective Comics, or Demon Cat? In another stairwell, you'll find the blood of Kentucky Congressman William Talby. Newspaper reporter Charles Kincaid shot and killed Talby there after a dispute in 1890. Talby's ghost is said to lurk around the Capitol, periodically tripping reporters as revenge.
Is that maybe why I was tripped on a Capitol stairway not far from there when I tried to get a word with Justin Trudeau?
It sounds absolutely plausible, and it sounds like you're fortunate to escape as unscathed as you were.
Holliday says Capitol ghost stories are history by another name.
It's popular history. It's a way that people can remember, sometimes misremember, but it's a way that they can remember figures and events from the past.
Any 200-year-old building is going to have ghost stories. The U.S. Capitol is no exception. So, as they say in the movies, if you come to the Capitol, be afraid. Be very afraid. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Boy. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to be in the Capitol late at night alone. I know that.
I know. My favorite part is the D.C. part written in the...
Direct current? I don't know.
Demon cat.
Yeah, definitely a demon cat. All right. Well, meanwhile, speaking of animals, Sunday, the SPCA of Hancock County held its 4th annual Jim Noble Howlo Run 5K. Over 60 runners teamed up with their furry companions at Marlboro Beach to support a good cause.
Jamie O'Keefe, race organizer for the Hancock County SPCA, says he expected the Howlo Run to raise around $12,000 for cats and dogs at the animal shelter. O'Keefe says a few pet parents came dressed for the spooky holiday season.
It's kind of a race that I think people get excited about because it's fun. You know, we line the course with jack-o'-lanterns, people wear costumes, their dogs wear costumes. It's a really good time. I think people really have a lot of fun, and it's a great cause.
To support the Hancock County SPCA, visit spcahancockcounty.org.
And I was checking out their website, I think it was Friday, and they had a ton of animals there that need homes. So
yeah,
a lot of them do right now. They have a lot of cats and kittens and things like that. So
that's my next step, get another cat.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go, we got a little note from the Department of Marine Resources, and it says the upper Madomic River and the Maine coast from St. George to Blue Hill, including the upper St. George River and a portion of Frenchman Bay, are now closed closed to shellfish harvesting. And it's because of all the rain we've had recently. A lot of times the runoff will cause some things to get down there into the flats and cause biotoxins to bloom, and they're keeping an eye on that. I don't think there's any word of any official red tide at this point, but they're closing it.
So it's not red tide.
While they check it out.
That's interesting.
So, like pre-red tide, I guess. I don't
Good
know.
update.
So.
Yep. Don't be getting clams on Halloween Monday morning.
Yeah, don't go digging clams this morning in those areas.
Right.
Or check ahead.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for now.
Yep. Good Morning America is next on ABC 7. Stay with us for the second hour.
The ABC Fox 22 Spooktacular Sweepstakes is upon us. Go online to foxbangor.com and enter our contest for a chance to win great prizes. Sponsored locally by the Natural Living Center and Village Variety.
Jamar Construction Products in Bangor continues to grow to meet our customers' needs, supplying products for site work contractors, concrete contractors, and survey and safety supplies. We are proud to be the local dealer for Hilti, Valley Blades, U.S. Fabrics, and Euclid Chemical, plus so much more. Stop by and see us at 1270 Hammond Street or give us a call at 907-4491. If you dig it, pour it, plow it, fasten it, lay it, or lift it, Jamar Construction Products can help you.
When Natural Living Center wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Natural Living Center offers natural groceries, organic produce, the largest selection of supplements in the area, gluten-free products, and more for your health.
Your favorite restaurants were half off. It's half off dining from